Brame Gymnasium. Oh, now we're live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Brame Gym on the campus of Gettysburg College for the 2017-18 women's basketball season preview. Joining me today are two seniors from the women's team. On my left, Emily Gibbons from Annapolis, Maryland, and on my right, Kendra Meredith from Boyd's, Maryland, right? I get it? Okay. I'm always nervous about messing up someone's hometowns when they're live. When I write it out, it's a lot easier to remember. So we have some great questions to ask these two as we prep for the 2017-18 season. Of course, last year Gettysburg won 20 games. We finished 28 overall, 14-6 in Centennial Conference play. The team advanced all the way to the Centennial Conference Championship before finishing runner-up. So we have big expectations for the Bullets this year. They were tabbed third in the Centennial Conference preseason poll, which was released last week. So I will open the question to both of you. Just how excited are you to be back on the court? Of course, you guys played an exhibition against UMBC last night too. So you guys are feeling the muscles in the legs. Probably woke up last night feeling a little bit sore today.
Yeah, I am pretty sore. It was a good time to be back on the court last night. It was fun to kind of get to play against someone other than ourselves because it's been about a month since our first practice. So it was fun to be back out there, and it's always a fun time to play in UMBC's gym.
Yeah, UMBC is Division I, of course. We were right there with them for most of the game. They made a late run in the fourth quarter, but to hang with the Division I program, I think, is very telling too about the team's attitude and drive this season. Kenny, how about you? How excited are you? Oh, you want the mic too, huh?
I'm really excited. Being able to play against someone else other than in practice is really gets us going, and I think we saw a lot of potential in our players, and I'm really excited for the season.
So I have kind of a loaded question here, especially with assistant coach Kaylee Borman manning the camera as it were right now. What are some of the best things about our coaching staff? Of course, Nate Davis, the head coach, is in his third season. He's won 39 games in his first two seasons, led us to the playoffs both years. And Kaylee's in his second season, right, Kay? Second season overall here at Gettysburg. Kaylee's an Eastern grad. Nate came to us from Eastern too, so Nate coached Kaylee. So what do you guys think about the coaches? Gibby, we'll start with you. You look like...
Well, I think they're very knowledgeable about what needs to happen and when. Kaylee and Coach Thurston are all really here to kind of help us succeed, and they're doing whatever they can to help us be prepared for this season, especially with our first game coming up on Friday.
Of course, Casey Thurston, too, is also in her third season. She's a local here from the town of Gettysburg. Kenny, how about you? Here's a question. Does Nate Davis ever smile on the sidelines?
Yes.
When?
Yeah. He smiled yesterday. A little bit. I don't know.
Now, what's it like playing for Coach Davis out there?
I think he wants to set us up for success. He really cares about us, and he is always willing to go an extra mile for us. I feel like our coaching staff really wants to see us succeed and see a better version of ourselves and make sure that we're playing up to our potential.
Kenny's trying to get out of running sprints today, I think. Emily, turning back to you, you had a busy summer. You were, traveling all over South America this summer with a team of Division III players representing Team USA, competing in Brazil. You played 3 or 4 games in a week-and-a-half span, and also, of course, toured some of the local sites in Brazil as well. So just talk about that experience. What was that like for you?
It was really cool to be able to play with some people from just all over the country. I met a lot of really great people through the experience, and I had a really just enjoyable time. And I think it was really truly a humbling experience because going to Brazil, which is still kind of recovering and is a developing country a little bit, it was just crazy to see how much they love the game and just how different the game is over there, and just being able to see what we could do for them and bring them t-shirts, and kids asked for my sweaty socks after games, and they were so excited to get them, and it was just really a cool experience just to see the culture there and just be able to kind of be involved with something that was something bigger than ourselves.
It's great experience, a great travel experience too for someone that competes in a sport that spans both semesters. It's kind of hard to travel, study abroad, as a lot of fall or spring athletes do here at Gettysburg College. Kenny, turning to you, so you transferred here from Southern Connecticut State, which is Division II. Last year was your first year with the team. What were some of the expectations you had going into last season, and how did you meet or exceed those last year?
I feel like I felt more like I wanted to impact the team in a positive way, like being a leader on the floor and just being able to set my teammates up for success. And from last year, we pretty much exceeded our expectations being young, and everybody kind of doubting us, saying like, oh, this is a learning year. I feel like we proved them wrong.
Of course, Kendra had a great season. She averaged over 8 points per game and over 5 assists per game, which was the best assist average by a Bullet in over 2 decades. And then in the springtime, she went out and won a silver medal in the long jump, right? So, dual sport athlete here. Emily, you had a great season last year. You averaged almost 19 points per game. You averaged over 13 rebounds per game. Broke 8 school records. You were a D3 Hoops All-America, honorable mention. You're a preseason All-America this year too. Just, how did everything come together for you last year, and what are your expectations for this season?
I think last year it was just really cool to be able to experience that with this team. I think everyone came in and worked hard, and obviously, like Kenny says, she really played a huge role. I had a lot of those. She hit me with a lot of assists, so she does a really good job of setting us up for success. Also, I think it kind of spoke to the just caliber of our program, and our guards were able to knock down shots from outside, so it opened the paint up for me, which made my life a lot easier. And everyone just did a really good job of forcing contested shots, which ultimately ended up in missed shots. I think that as a team we've grown a lot, and I think that we're just going to have continued success as a team.
So, Kenny, talking about your assist numbers, obviously I mentioned that they were the most by a Bullet in over 2 decades. So when you get out on the court, are you always looking for your teammates, and do you have confidence that they're going to step up and hit those shots every time, or at least a high percentage of the time?
Well, I think as a basketball player, I probably shouldn't be thinking oh, pass first, but I feel like as I've grown as a basketball player, that's my first thing that comes to mind. I'm like, oh, how am I going to set my players up for success? And they're always knocking down their shots anyway, so I'm like, I trust them, and I don't know, it feels good when I give them the pass and they shoot a 3 and it's in, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do it again. So I don't know, we have a lot of good shooters, so I trust them, and
yeah, it certainly builds confidence for you when your outside shooters are knocking down 3s, or you have, Emily here who shot 58% from the field. They're going to make the shot. It makes you want to give them the ball every single time. So, Emily, we talked about you and Kenny, but let's not forget about Emma Dorsheimer, junior. She's entering her junior campaign with, I think, 842 career points, give or take a point there. First team All-Centennial Conference last year. She was Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. She just seems to be a great offensive complement for her. Just talk about the kind of impact she makes out there, how she helps open up the game for you too.
Yeah, obviously Dorsh had a great year last year. She really stepped up and hit a lot of big shots when we needed her to, and I think that with her hitting those shots, it just kind of really stretches our offense out, because if they guard Dorsh in the middle, it makes Kenny or the other posts open underneath, and then when they start to double down on us, we know I have no problem kicking it out to Dorsh at the 3-point line, because I know she's going to hit that shot at a really high percentage. So I think that she's been a really great asset to this team, and she gets in the gym and puts up shots and works really hard to make sure that she's ready to hit those shots.
And of course, she's more than just an outside shooter too. She likes to drive to the cage too. So all 3 of these, what I would call leaders on the team, along with junior Teal Tasker, definitely versatile individuals out there in the court. So, Kenny, we talked about some of the upperclassmen here. Obviously, you 3. Teal's an upperclassman as well, but she's coming off missing a season due to injury, so this will technically be her 2nd season of competition. And that being said, we also have 11 players that are either freshmen or sophomores on the team. What can we expect to see from some of the newcomers and those second-year players too as they mature and develop this season?
I feel like the sophomores have really matured and grew over the past year. They're knocking down shots at practice and communicating and just doing everything that Coach wants them to do. The freshmen, I feel like we've brought in a great group. They're very eager to learn and they hustle, so I feel like they could be a good impact for this year.
Okay, so Coach Davis and I were talking this morning about the growth from freshman year to sophomore year. Ashley Guerin, Kira Cesario, Sophia Tavares, Emma Honner, Olivia Briggs. I think I got them all. Of course, they all played big minutes last year as well, and we hope to see a little bit more from them as well this season. So speaking of the season, we're fast approaching. We open at Mary Washington this Friday against Lehman College. It's the Mary Washington tournament, 2-day tournament. Lehman at 5 o'clock on Friday. We have a jam-packed schedule, of course, lots of Centennial Conference action starting right after the tournament. On Tuesday, we see Franklin and Marshall next Tuesday, so the conference season starts hot and heavy as well. You know, last year we went to the championship game. 2 years ago we went to the semifinals. We've won 39 games the last 2 years, but we're still looking for the gold. We want to win that conference championship. So my question to the both of you is, what's it going to take to climb the mountain, win that conference championship, and get back to the NCAAs for the first time since 2013? Gibby, we'll start with you.
I think it's going to take a lot of just hard work and dedication and getting in and putting in extra shots and making sure that we're doing everything we need to do to be successful. And I think that this group, more than any other group, kind of realizes that. And I think we still kind of have the taste of losing that conference championship, because I think we almost had it and we knew we could have it. And I think that as we mature as a team, we're starting to realize that we have something really special and we have the abilities to do it. And I think that if we just stay focused and work hard and come in every day and give everything we have in every game, then I think we have a really awesome opportunity to win the conference championship and hopefully advance to the NCAAs.
Kenny, how about you? Anything to add to that? That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Just hard. I mean, giving it our all, and just like Gibby said, coming in and putting up shots and doing the little things, I think will really go a long way, and hopefully we'll be where we need to be.
Emma B over there in the corner getting ready to put up some shots. So shout out to her.
We have one of our freshmen over there getting ready to shoot as well. So, all right. Well, as Coach Davis says, we take it game by game. So our focus this week is against Lehman College on Friday, and then the next day it'll be against whoever wins the second game at the Mary Washington tournament. So, Emily, thank you. Kenny, thank you. Oh, by the way, best offices to work for on campus?
Athletic offices.
Kenny?
For Corey and Braden.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, Emily works upstairs in the athletics offices, and Kenny has been working for me for the past 2 years. So that's all I have to say about the women's basketball team this season. We look forward to having you follow us all season long. I'm Corey Jewett signing off. Go Bullets!